Garden of Terror, we are in the last chance group. We have the Cats against Hypernova. So, no losers bracket anymore. There are no second chances. This is literally the last chance for the teams to make it into the playoffs. The winner of this one moves on to the final of the group, the best of 5 series, where they will face off against the Freedom Exporters. So, are we going to get to see any bounties here? That's one of the bigger questions. So far, teams haven't really been going for a lot of bounties in the last chance group. But the one thing to really point out is that obviously the Cats are the favorites here. I mean, for sure. So we currently have Hypernova as one of the newer teams to make it in here. And the Cats have an opportunity maybe to complete some bounties in this context. If they are willing to risk this or not, that's a different story. And for Hypernova, we'll see how they react. It's a big map, so both of the teams start addressing some of the globals that are getting banned out here. We can also double check on the bounties real quickly, just so you guys have an idea of what's happening. Now, there are obviously some bounties that have already been completed by specifically the Cats. If you look at that Cho'Gall bounty, for example, they might play Cho'Gall. I would definitely put it past them, but they're not going to get a bounty there anymore. There are still plenty of bounties around. I mean, nobody is getting in danger of running out of bounties anytime soon in the tournament. But still going to be interesting to see how exactly the blue team reacts here. Could also be that they're, for example, just going into game number 1. They're saying, alright guys, let's just win the first one and then we'll see how we continue from there onwards. Either way, with the first pick right now, we get Garrosh for the red team. So Team Hypernova is getting Garrosh as their weapon of choice. And then on the other side, we'll see what exactly the Cats are gonna attempt. Yeah, earlier we had the Enjoyers actually eliminated, so that's another strong team that is now out of the tournament, as the Cats are hoping to prevent the same from happening to them. The Cats are in an interesting spot. In their group, they made it into the winner bracket final, barely lost against Team Copium, who quickly qualified for the playoffs, dropped into the losers bracket then, and then in the losers final, they lost again. Mega close, but they lost. So they were 2 times now already in a position where they essentially had a direct shot at the playoffs, and they failed both of them. So they are arguably one of, if not the strongest team that we currently have in the last chance qualifiers, given their performance in the group itself. So it would be interesting to see them drop out completely after the performance that we saw in the group. Now, for the red team, we get Chromie and we get D.Va. So gonna get some explosions on that one. Mostly something that we have seen before on Infernal Shrines. I mean, when we're talking about some of the teams that really love to play D.Va, it's essentially nearly an Infernal Shrines only pick. Definitely the preference. But Brightwing now eliminated as the support, and here comes the ban on Johanna. Yeah, Hogger hasn't really been banned and addressed. We got Blaze obviously and D.Va side laners, but still. Meridian's still up if they want to go for it. They played Meridian a lot before, but they don't have that combo with Jojo plus Blaze now. I suppose that's part of the appeal of what they're currently doing here. I'm more interested in the damage. Oh, Murky! We're getting Murky. Okay, so it's bounty time. They are actually trying to complete a bounty here, and we're getting Murky from Taichessa. Quick reminder, this is not actually Nano. Nano has 2 accounts. Nano is actually playing in this tournament, but he's playing for Team Copium. And his second account is currently played by Taichessa, plays for the Cats. So I know it's a little bit confusing, but it's just what's happening. So yeah, as a side note already, not the real Nano yet. We got Grolk on Sergeant Hammer now, and we get Rhaegar. So that leaves us already with the auto attack damage. So we have, first of all, we have Chromie for burst damage, and then we have Sergeant Hammer for that sustained siege up that they can go for. But it is Frog time. Only thing that they now need is gimme Abathar. Murky Abathar. Or gimme Phoenix. Octograb into a laser. Brrr. Gimme that Planet Cracker. Highly doubt that we're gonna get either of them, but still, would be kind of fun. There's Phoenix! We get Phoenix! They're going for it! They're going for the Planet Cracker. Alright, Garden of Terror, everybody. Map number 1, Hypernova against the Cats.
The battle
The Cats in game number 1. We have Drakia on Phoenix. Likely a Planet Cracker pick on level 10. With Captain Rex on Lucio for the blue team. Taichessa on Murky. I Murk, I die, I Murk again. My Try on Blaze. And Erath on ETC. Over on the right side of the map, it is Team Hypernova. Without a bounty attempt, just trying to win the game. Grolk on Sergeant Hammer, Panda J on Garrosh. We get Killy on Diva, Suksumuksu on Chromie, and Guano is playing Rega in game number 1. So, Murky is going to be at the top lane. And we already have him here with a fish eye on level 1. So, this is, yeah, a quick kill against Murky. So, he's going to be back in a second. Or 2, because, well, it doesn't have an egg yet. Well, has one in the base, but yeah. And they're losing a lot of ground at the top lane as a result. But again, the idea here is very likely that we're going to get Planet Cracker on level 10 for Phoenix, and then Octocrab for Murky, and then they're going to try and just get kills whenever the cooldowns are ready. Very likely against Rhaegar, against Sergeant Hammer maybe, so we'll see how much they can do with that combo, always assuming that they're going to get that combo in the first place. But this would be, yeah, this would be the expectation here. Level 1, we get mobile offense. Phoenix is another hero that honestly does not really see a whole lot of play. I gotta admit, he's also not that exciting of a hero. I mean, I have an anti-Protoss bias as a former Zerg player, but still, I don't think that there's a lot of people that are just saying, sitting there saying like, oh my god, we just need more Phoenix. Phoenix is underplayed. So, yeah, at least I haven't heard anything like that. So, with this, we got the Cats now, with some, well, nice control at the bottom of the map already. So far, Taichessa doesn't have any issues here. Nobody's really dealing with it. ETC is a bit lost, though. I mean, ETC is really lost, and that's a kill. That's first blood. ETC eliminated, and yeah. Okay, so not a great start for them here. That was a quick kill, and ETC now gone. So we have level 4 talents dropping into the hands of Hypernova a bit early with siege tactics here and Indomitable. I mean, again, as I mentioned before, the blue team is clearly the favorite, but that doesn't mean that they have a win locked in already. So Hypernova is going to try their best to cause a bit of an upset here and gain momentum, so that we can start to run the show a little bit. Sergeant Hammer in the corner, just bullied around by ETC and by Lucio, and here comes another quick move, and this is the end of the Sergeant. But Lucio gets also taken down. Nice, that was a really cool move by Garrosh, facilitating that kill and making sure that they at least trade kills and not just fall behind here. Okay, so this is always so annoying when Murky starts moving into the back. Luckily for them, I mean, again, the wave gets taken out, so now there's going to be pressure against Diva, but this is exactly the kind of move that you expect from Murky. He wants to be as annoying as hell, and this is definitely the way to go here. So Murky is being a nuisance. We now have topside 3 that are pushing in against ETC. So yeah, Kirath needs to be a bit careful. But the same play, again, proxying the wave and taking those out with ease, applying more pressure at the bottom of the map. And also, freaking out that Diva is currently trying to go for a camp. He's immediately starting to deal with that situation too. Okay, yeah, but again, Murky alone is not going to be able to do too much. If you can buy a little bit more time for yourself, then maybe you can get Blaze into the action, but he is just too late to make an impact there. The problem for the blue team is that this push at the top is fairly successful for Hypernova. They're sieging up with Chromie and with Sergeant Hammer. That's a lot of long-range damage that you can utilize now to try and take the opponent apart. So this is... yeah, this hurts. It does. And down at the bottom of the map, yeah, already explosion from Diva. Murky still totally fine. I just want to see what happens around level 10, how successful they are with the combo if they're going for it. For now though, Captain Rex goes down again. Rhaegar gets thrown forward. Panda J with Garrosh is doing a solid job. That's the second time that Lucio has now fallen, simply because of Garrosh's performance. So, yeah, for Lucio, it starts to become a bit iffy. In the middle, Blaze taking the wall out. Chromie doing her best to now rejoin the rest of the team, but while they are taking walls out, the red team is working down those keeps now, so those forts, and the first one has already fallen. So, structurally, the Cats have now taken the lead here. And Murky with 11 stacks on the slime time at this point. Yeah, we got ETC and Blaze starting to make a bit of a move here. I mean, it's the first seed that is still up on the map, so nothing has really changed there. But the experience advantage goes over to Hypernova, which of course means an early level 10 ability, unless they're starting to lose heroes here. And they are still sitting pretty tight down at the bottom of the map. So it's a bit of a slow start into all of this. We have 3 kills to 1 overall. But yeah, level 10 is going to kick in any moment now for Hypernova. Slowing Sands, we're already in. Decimate, we get the Bunny Hop and the Ancestral. But how is Murky and Phoenix going to be played out once that they have level 10? Because what's going to be the target for them? They can go for Chromie before she has a timeout. That would definitely help. But after that, you're taking risks. So Octograb is in, and that's going to be a Planet Cracker right there. Round of applause. That's going to be a nice one. They go for the bounty attempt with Murky, and we get that combo. Oh my god! ETC absolutely wrecked by Sergeant Hammer and the BFG, and they're getting Blaze too. Team Hypernova, 5 kills to 1. Yep, they are looking good here. Take a look at, by the way, ETC being taken out. So ETC was in trouble initially, then they somehow got him out. They got the wall destroyed, he moves away, and then bam, just rolls over him. The ult from Sergeant Hammer, totally crushing him there. So the experience gap is widening as we speak, and to make matters worse, it's the structures that are falling quickly. This is the fort in the mid lane, essentially gone. And this is where it starts to get more than a bit dicey. Going into Sergeant and Hammer and Chromie is a problem for them. That, yeah, it does a little bit of damage, but not nearly enough. If they can set something up with the Mosh Pit or an Octograb, then this has probably a better chance of succeeding. But just trying to rip in and going brrrr did not do enough. There's the Mosh Pit. Now we get another kill. Alright, Panda J should fall here, and he does. It takes them a while to take him out. After initially it was Sergeant Hammer that got claimed, but now they have the 2 kills, so this is looking a bit better. And it closes the gap in experience right away. Talking about experience and also about like pressuring, down at the bottom of the map, the fort is now taking damage. Murky is still busy proxying those minion waves. I mean, 2 forts are still gone on the on the blue team side. But at least they're getting some damage in themselves. It doesn't really change the fact though that the red team is still ahead when it comes to experience, well, not experience, but when it comes to structures of the map. So they are attempting to steal the camp away here. Murky is still at the top, so if they want to make this a 5 versus 5, then Murky has to start rotating down, which is the case right now, but the camp is still claimed. So they could potentially try and force the fight here. Planet Cracker is back in another 14 seconds. Murky has Octograb, so there's a chance on that. Comes in, Octograb already used, but no Planet Cracker. Rhaegar is on the move. Planet Cracker still not ready. This would have been a guaranteed kill if they could have just delayed things a little bit. Now we have Planet Cracker back up, but Octograb is down for another 30 seconds roughly. It's definitely a short cooldown. I mean, it's something that you can really try and combo off a lot whenever you have that back up. There's also the camp that has been claimed just a few seconds ago, still doing a bit of damage down at the bottom of the map. The seed at the top right. Damage output is 30,000 for Sergeant Hammer, 20,000 roughly for Mr. Brr, Mr. Phoenix. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. I mean, they're going for their camps, but they also have Blaze down at the bottom of the map, and they're like, well, you guys are not coming in here to try and defend this, then we're just going to take your structures out for free, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Mitra should probably move out, and might die if he doesn't, but so far, that was pretty good. And he's in trouble. He is bunkering up. The rest of the team is now moving in to assist him, so he's not going to die. Had to sacrifice the bunker cooldown, but still fine. And Octograb and Planet Cracker are now ready. So they could try and execute this. The cool thing about it is usually that you can be with Phoenix on the other side of the map. So this is one of the nice ones. Haven't seen anything like that where they went for that split, or where Murky was somebody completely different, ready to go for a big Octograb. It's also a question of who are you going to target. I mean, either the target has to be a bit low already, or yeah. That was a nice BFG again. ETC in a bit of trouble. They are getting good damage in against Garrosh. I'm just waiting the entire time for the ult from Phoenix, and it just does not come. Now that Murky is saying hello, maybe now we're seeing a move here. They're already trying to trap Garrosh again. Yeah, Garrosh is a little bit low. And Murky is down. They are trying to set that combo up. You can really tell. I mean, Murky is looking for a target, and they're trying to tee up Phoenix, but it's not playing out that way. So it's 15 versus 15 on the XP board. Murky also really nice siege damage, of course. 15 stacks on level 4. Just saying. But we haven't seen that combo that they're trying to use here even once. Okay, here comes Murky. Maybe now. And now we're talking. Yep, that's a kill. Right there. This is how you do it. This is a Murky Phoenix kill. Right there. Nicely done. And we're going to look at that again. Murky jumps in. Executes Octograb, and then full on Planet Cracker. Nice. And they get the kill. Murky dies, but so does Garrosh, and Murky is obviously already back to business in the mid lane, pushing there. Lucio is just toying with his life the entire time against Chromie, but they get the fort at the bottom of the map, which is of course what they wanted. And they're trapping Chromie too. Chromie is getting trapped, and she is going to fall here. Yeah, just a matter of time. Walks into the minion waves like there's nowhere that I can escape to. And so she dies. Chromie is gone. 5 kills, 2-6. And Murky back to business at the top lane. They need to wait for Planet Cracker to come back online. Octograb itself obviously already. Okay. Stun, 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 stun. And the Ancestral. Yeah, it's tough. Rhaegar has to throw that out a lot, and that's a huge cooldown to burn. That's more than 1.5 minutes, so whenever you have to throw your Ancestral around this quickly, then you won't have it for bigger fights, especially when the combo around Murky and Phoenix is being set up by the opponent's team. So that's a problem. Octograb is ready and was here. Murky gets murdered by the BFG. So does Blaze, though. The camp is gonna go to the red team. So they're losing ETC now too. This is... or so I thought. 20 hit point escape. Nice. Alright, there were 20 hit points on ETC, but they were able to get him out. Not bad. I could have sworn he's toast, but nope, he made it. But it is a weird series. This is likely going to be Garden Terrors now for the red team. So with 5 kills to 7 and the way this is going, the Cats should definitely not think that they have this one in the bag. Because they most certainly don't. And some of those kill attempts, they're just not lining up the way that they want them to. So there is way too much that they need to try in order to handle this. Either they have to be a little bit more patient and wait for Octograb to really come back, or for Planet Cracker, depending on what's currently down. Or... yeah, but I mean, as it stands right now, it's all defense, and keeps will likely fall. I mean, this is so much pressure at the top lane, especially with Chromie and with Sergeant Hammer. Trying to deal with that, good luck. The Garden Terror itself is probably going to fall quickly, but Chromie, Sergeant Hammer, just weaving the attacks in. Murky's at least done with the slime time on level 4, as they are starting to come together for this. But the keep is mega low, and the red team just sieges up at the top lane now. So, well, here it is. With that, we now have the next little attack coming. Yes, there's a slide. Murky looking for an angle to set up Phoenix. But there it is. They try to go for Sergeant Hammer. Murky is gone, and now ETC is about to fall. Yep, this is just not working for them. They lost the keep, and now they lose ETC again, who's getting murdered quite a lot. At the bottom of the map, the last Garden Terror is taking out the fort. So I am not sure how they're going to recover from this, because this is certainly not going the way of the Cats. They might lose that game, and they might lose that bounty. They thought they had the chance to set a bounty up against Hypernova, and Hypernova turned out to be a little bit too much to handle from the looks of it. Ford is going to survive for a bit longer. I guess Diva is going to take it in a second. She's currently working the camp. Either it's going to be the camp or it's going to be Diva herself that takes it. But with this, we now have 5 kills to 8. Nearly level 20 for Hypernova. And the Murky combo just doesn't do enough. Not even close, by the way. I mean, we're nowhere near close. With level 20, I mean, can they maybe do something with that? First, they have to, of course, soak this up. They have only 1 seed to their name, so if you want to have the objective, it's going to take them a lot longer here. But yeah, the attack is now coming. There's level 20. And we get Deadly Calm and the Ultra Capacitors. And, of course, they have to give that camp up. Blue team should really just move away and wait for their own Storm Talons. Anything else is you just asking for trouble. So, right now, Murky at the bottom of the map. Still trying to get experience for them. Working one minion wave after another. And yeah, Garrosh is hoping to catch somebody before that's even the case. But they will have level 20. It's not going to take them too long. Murky is going to take a few more of the minions out. There it is. And now we have level 20 talents. That gives us the big Tuna Kahuna. And we got Mix and Fire. The only question really is, what are we getting from Phoenix? And they're doubling down on this. Murky already with the Octo Grab. They get the big damage in against Panda J, but not the kill. The Mosh Pit, on the other hand, that's where you needed the... Oh my god, that's where you needed the Planet Cracker. They go for the kill on Sergeant Hammer, and they get it. The Armageddon Beam was awesome, and the cooldown reduction is obviously really helpful with that combo that they're trying to go for. But boy, just imagine for a second if after the 3-man Mosh they would have been in possession of the Planet Cracker still. That would have been something. Core is not losing any hit points. Actually, it is. Yep, loses a few hit points here. The last shot came in. But that Mosh was awesome. And now they're fighting at the top. 10 seconds until we have Planet Cracker back. Until we get the Armageddon Beam. So, yeah, there's the next chance. Murky is already on the way. And there's the seed. So if they get the seed, then they have Garden Terrors too. This would be a big step for the blue team. And Sergeant Hammer is still dead. She will be back in time for the fight over the seed though. So for the objective battle, we should have her in the mix. What's Phoenix damage? Phoenix damage is at 53,000. I mean, considering that Sergeant Hammer is at 80k. But still. You can always try to burn them down. There is a bit more momentum now for the Cats. So they have a little bit more going for themselves here. But can they get that seed? That would be the dream. Hypernova, they're realizing that they are actually in the lead in this game. And that they have a chance to finally win the map here. So they're going to try everything that they can to make that happen. And here comes the beam again. And it gets interrupted right away from Diva. Diva interrupts the Planet Cracker instantly. Yeah, Diva herself in some trouble, gets out. Phoenix, by the way, barely escaping, so that was an important one too. And I guess they're gonna get the seed here. So, yeah, the combo, just tough to execute. This time, they lined it up nicely around Phoenix, but then, of course, a moment later, we have the interrupt from Diva against Phoenix, and that channel gets interrupted. No damage is there. And even with it, it's questionable if they can really get that kill. It's tricky. Siege damage on Murky, what do we actually have? Murky is at 180,000 siege damage right now. And I guarantee you that the Cats are currently thinking, okay, how do we even win this? Because the team fights are very... I don't want to say it's like one-trick pony style what they have to do here. But if they don't get big value out of the Planet Cracker, either by zoning an opponent off, sectioning them off and then getting kills, or by getting the kill directly with Planet Cracker itself, then it's going to be tough for them to go for any kind of follow-up. So, this, by the way, is also a problem. That's 3 catapults and siege stands at the top lane, and nobody has dealt with this. Seed is spawning, and I suppose they want to take this one. Murky, okay, Murky is falling back. They realize that they have to do something around that top lane push, or it's going to kill their core. So, yeah. The rest of the team needs to be mega careful while Murky is dealing with this. They need to be super careful here. And yeah, they're just dancing around. But Sergeant Hammer is now moving forward. Yeah, might try. Careful. Oh, the ult. The ult, not enough. And we get, of course, also Lucio. He's chipping in, trying to help out. And they are keeping everybody in play. Now Murky is coming back. And we still have the Planet Cracker. So they can try and see if there's maybe an opportunity here. Already going for it. Planet Cracker, way too late. Way too late. The coordination in some of these situations is just tricky for them. Interrupt again on the channel. They really want that seed. Murky is gone. There's pressure in the middle, by the way, with the Siege Giants. And down at the bottom of the map, there's another mercenary camp that is pushing that lane too. Top lane. Again, catapults will be in just a moment. So somebody has to go there. Murky has to deal with this. The seed has been taken by the red team. So they are denying that objective over and over again to the Cats. And for the Cats, this is a crucial one. If we get another set of Garden Terrors for Hypernova, I think they're winning the game. The only chance the Cats have is to also get the objective or get some solid kill. And well, maybe now they try for D.Va. She's getting saved by Garrosh. And yep, there's not enough of a follow-up. Next camp is claimed. Murky is rejoining them again. They got their cooldowns ready. But can they get the kills? 6 kills is what they got in this game. Taking out the topside fort would also, by the way, go a long way to alleviate some of the pressure from the catapults topside. This is going to be the seed, though. This is going to be the big seed right there. They're looking for any angle that they can use to try and go to Sergeant Hammer, maybe Chromie. Murky's already attempting to move in. They at least take the camp here. Mitra is way too low in HP and is able to get out. Had to use the bunker, though. So they got the camp, but what they really need is that seed. And I'm not so sure if this is going to be easy for them. Sergeant Hammer with the Ultra Capacitors in 20 is now at 113,000 damage. It's nearly doubling what Phoenix has. Murky's moving in at the side just to say hello. There they go. And yep, it's not going to be enough. Nope, they don't get that easy kill. It's really tricky to set this up. It's nearly impossible, as you can see here. So it's super, super difficult. Mitra is moving back out. Good damage on Garrosh, but Rhaegar had the Ancestral. He used the cooldown now, finally. So the Ancestral is out. But can they play around the lack of the cooldown now? And I don't think so. This is going to be a set of Garden Terrors. Guys, Hypernova is going to get more Garden Terrors right now. This is absolutely disastrous for the Cats. Hypernova is going to try and end the game here. And they should. They want to shut down that bounty attempt by the Cats. They are getting attacked here immediately. Up at the top. Yep, this seems tricky. In the middle, the Keep is taking damage as Sergeant Hammer is just shifting between the two targets with ease. And very likely, this is going to be lights out in game number 1 for the Cats. Hypernova is about to win their first game in the tournament. But they cannot break through that core. Now, there is a Garden Terror at the bottom of the map that is at least breaking through walls. But the defense is still ongoing. And they didn't take any of the hit points out. 98% still. That's actually, as far as defenses go, pretty strong. But I assume that at least the Keep in the middle is going to fall. No way they're saving that. This one's about to fall. Garden Terror down here is going to be defeated. But yep, this Keep is gone. And now they're trying again for that kill. Where's that mosh pit when you need it? ETC gets thrown around. Murky already used the Octo Grab in the back, but they haven't used Planet Cracker yet. I guess they're waiting for that big, the big beautiful mosh pit. But they haven't gotten it yet. What about D.Va? Can they maybe go for her? Doesn't really look like it. It's a tricky one. Hypernova, they know that they have a chance here. We're now 24 minutes into the game, and that is 2 Keeps eliminated. So catapults are hitting hard. The only, I mean, the one big thing that the Cats could do is win the next seed and take an objective themselves. That's definitely something that they could do. Once again, Planet Cracker, nice damage against a couple of heroes, but Lucio is gone. Here's the mosh pit, and where's the damage? Nowhere to be found. Murky is dead. That's 2 heroes down on the blue team side. Murky for another 10 seconds. At least he'll be back soon. But Mitra is also in trouble. Gets thrown into the back and is trying to escape here. gets trapped and will be killed. Bye-bye, Blaze, and this has to be game. This just has to be game right there. Nicely done. So, 6 kills to 12, and Team Hypernova is about to win their first game in the tournament. Congratulations to them. With only Murky and ETC, no chance to save this anymore. The Cats, they're going down in flames. They were trying to go for a bounty here and also for some extra styler points with the combo Octo Grab and Planet Cracker, but it all fell apart on them and they lose the first map. They lose Garden of Terror. Nicely done by the red team. GG. Well played. We're firing up the next map in the series in just a moment. Before we do that, guys, quick reminder that a lot what happens here on the YouTube channel and also with the tournaments that we host on Twitch really depends on your support. One of the things that you can do right now is to actually jump down into the description of the video, check out the download link and download Opera X, install it, play around with the browser a bit. It's the current sponsor for like a month and it really helps if you just interact with the browser, if you install it, check out if it's for you. I myself am actually looking into a new browser right now because I'm a little bit tired of Chrome, so this is one of the browsers that I'm also testing myself at this point in time. But it would really help. So again, if you want to support the channel, if you want to help out a bit, it would be absolutely amazing if you could hit that download link, install it, play around with it, maybe create a user there too. I would really appreciate it. It would really help the channel here. So take the few minutes if you can, and thanks a lot in advance. So, Team Hypernova, they are in the lead, guys. They've done it. They have locked in a W here, and the bounty attempt of the Cats has been shut down. So, very, very curious how this series is now going to play. I mean, I can pretty much guarantee you that the Cats are not going to go for a bounty here. Or if it is a bounty, then it's something that really aligns with their plans already. But they're now 0-1. You need to win this series. There's no losers bracket. You lose here, you're out. The winner advances to the best of 5 series against the Freedom exporters. So, yeah. Maybe it was a little bit too much to go for Player Cracker as well. Maybe. Just maybe. Going for Murky alone is already a little bit of a tough one. It's one of the reasons why the Murky bounty actually has a ×2, so it gets double the reward. But then adding Planet Crack on top of that. Yeah, maybe that was a little bit too much. Especially against the composition that they've been up against. Who are you going to crack? Garrosh? Good luck. Diva? Chromie? Timeout and she's fine. So there are way too many things, I believe, that could go wrong with that particular combo, considering the team that they were up against. So yeah, that backfired. I mean, at this point, we now have, for example, also Cho'Gall banned out. That doesn't really surprise me. Again, this is Tomb of the Spider Queen, and the Cats have already joked earlier about playing Cho'Gall again. They already completed that bounty, so that's the thing. But you can still play the hero. Just because you complete a bounty with the hero doesn't mean that you can't play him anymore. Sylvana's on Tomb, so they're gonna try and empower those Webweaver pushes a little bit more. And Oriel Vala. So Hypernova is already going very much from the get-go into a Hyper Carry comp. The Cats know at least what they're up against, right? So they know exactly what they're dealing with. It's still mega interesting to see the Cats down 1 game. Because I can guarantee you that was not the plans for them. Because right now, when you're thinking about it, the Cats get into the series and they're like, okay, we are the clear favorite here. Hypernova is one of the weaker teams in all of this one. They haven't been able to win a map yet. This is the time to complete a bounty. Let's go for one of the really difficult bounties so that we get a +2. And, well, now it backfired and you have to win 2 in a row or you're just out of the tournament. So they're not going to be happy with this at all. 10 heroes that were played on the previous map cannot be played again. We get Chen now plus the Kane for the Cats. And there will be a lot of focus on Vala. I mean, Chen obviously jumping in and then using the keg can do a lot to just like try and keep the supports, for example, away from Vala, isolate her maybe directly. Uther gets now banned too. They already know that they're up against the potential Aegis. They want to avoid that there's also Divine Shield. I mean, too many panic buttons for Hypernova would definitely be annoying as hell to deal with. So the Cats have absolutely none. But with that, we have the next two picks. I mean, Diablo and Tomb is up. Jojo, I believe, is up too. So, yeah, Jojo is actually up, and I'm a little bit shocked that she wasn't picked yet. That's actually insane now that I think about it. Jojo's not be played in game number 1, right? I'm not delusional all of a sudden. We get Ana plus Auriel and Yrel on the side. But no Johanna pick yet, and we're in the final pick phase on Tomb of the Spider Queen. That's a little bit bonkers. Okay. Color me intrigued. Muradin and Cassia. Muradin, Cassia, and then as the final pick for the red team as we're heading into game number 2 of the best of 3 series. Quick reminder, next series is the group final that determines the last team out of this group to make it into the playoffs, and that's going to be a best of 5 series. So for the 2 teams, at least for now, it's going to be the last best of 3. But yeah, here in game number 2, we get Asmodan. Okay, a bounty attempt from Hypernova. Who needs tanks? Yeah, I did not expect that last pick. Asmodan tank, apparently. Guys, I'm not quite sure what's going on. I'm definitely here for it. Tomb of the Spider Queen, map number 2. Very interesting draft from the Hypernova boys. Now, on the left side, we have the blue team. They're down 1 map in this best of 3 series. We got Captain Rex on Deckard Cain, Hirath on Muradin, Dracula on Cassia, Maitri is playing Chen, and Taichessa playing on the account of Nano is playing Sylvanas. And actually goes into Unfurling Shadows as the level 1 choice. Over on the right side, this is where things are getting a bit wild. Panda J, their tank player, is playing Asmodan now. We got Kitili on Yrel, Suksumuxu on Auriel, Guano on Ana, and then Auto Attack Vala played by Guano. No, by Grolk, sorry. So, I'm not quite sure what exactly is happening here, but this is going to be a little bit awkward because it's also going to be difficult for Asmodan to stack early on. Normally, as I've been going on quite a lot during the tournament, you really want to have somebody with good AoE clear that can help you when you're trying to stack Asmodan in the early game. And I don't think that we're going to get too many Asmodan stacks with this one. But I am very curious to see how this comp is going to work out for them. If I personally had a bit of a guess, I'm currently a little bit torn between utter disaster and total catastrophe. But I'm also, I mean, I'm eager to learn. So if I'm wrong here and this is the new meta, then hey, count me in. So Asmodan is currently trying to stack a bit. He's not the only one. Vala is trying the same thing. Working some auto attacks in here, of course. As Muradin is just saying hello, throws out a couple of storm bolts, and is attempting to get some hits. We see Sylvana stacking, but Taichessa gets lasered, and that is first blood. Alright. Not bad. Yep, first blood immediately. Huh. Yeah, not really what I expected. Not from the composition, not from the start of the game, but it's the mid-game that I'm really the most interested in. Once the level 10 abilities have started to appear, I want to see how this goes, because I just cannot believe that without a proper tank, Hypernova is going to have a good time when the ults are out. Especially, I mean, you have Yrel can create a little bit of space for you, that's true, but Asmodan as main tank, that's not a thing. So he's just playing a side lane here. You just use him as a side laner, but he's also not getting the stacks that you really want. I've been talking about this a lot, and 28 stacks this early in the game are just not something to write home about. You want somebody to help you out here, and Panda J just has nothing. So Asmodan's impact in the game will be limited until he has a proper stacking mechanic, and that's just not the case right now. Once that he has a few more, I mean level 7 he can always help out a bit, but we'll see. For now, they're just getting some damage done here. There's obviously a lot of sustain currently for the red team, so that's the good news. With Ana and Auriel in tandem, you have lots of sustain that you can utilize. Once that we have the Panda with level 10 and get the top keg plays in, we're going to try and break all of that cohesion, at least a little bit. And yeah, Vala with 38 stacks right now. Died here or anything of the sorts. We got a couple of gems. Nothing really turned in yet, but the blue team is slightly ahead on the gem count. Attack coming through the middle. They're slowly doing their thing. So, yeah. Sylvanas, as I said before, again is trying to, of course, stack her level 1 now. So, she's currently sitting at 23. Seems like we're going to get a full dagger build there. Chen also trying to move back out, but Vala is currently trying to get stacks against him. Panda J. Yeah, Muradin obviously can't go too deep with the red team instantly rotating and reacting to the play. But that's 50 stacks now for Asmodan. Again, still nothing that knocks my socks off, but it's getting there. Cassia has total freedom at the top lane though. Asmodan is now slowly moving in to attempt to deal with her, but that's a gate gone, that's a tower on 50% HP. That's neat damage that you are getting for free, and that also softens up the forts before you even have your first set of web weavers, which the blue team could technically now get, by the way. They are one shy, or yeah, well, there it is. So now they have enough to go to full turn in. Should probably start and turn in at least a few of the gems, specifically when we're talking about someone like Drake with like the 16 down at the bottom of the map. Little jump, and they're getting out for now. So now that we have a level 7 with the Master of Destruction, this is going to make it a bit easier for Asmodan. Planet Cracker was in the last game. Now we got Skull Cracker, so a lot of crackers here. And that Vala. So Vala is losing some of her auto attack speed. That's 5% gone. And there's another Stormbolt against Urel, and she's in trouble too. Has still 2 supports behind her though, and they keep her alive. But the blue team now with a bit of momentum, and they're using Sylvanas to push the bot lane further. So I've been talking about the top side where they have taken some of the towers down a notch and tried to break through the gate. Now they're doing a similar thing at the bottom of the map. And it illustrates again that if you are able to get good damage against structures without the objective early on, you can bet your ass that the first web weavers are going to be loud. So Asmodan says hello. Yep, they're trying to push this once again. Drakia just poking, moving back out, and in comes Muradin. Tries to set up another kill for them. Not quite able to do anything on this one. Chen isn't even here with the team, so Chen is still sitting in the middle, getting them some extra XP. Nobody has turned a single gem in yet, by the way. Not one. Blue team is slowly starting to try, but they're also getting interrupted. The problem is that the red team is funneling into that little choke point here over and over again, so that makes things difficult. But 81 gems in their hands. I mean, even the gem count, different. Even there, we already have a lead for the blue team. Finally, some moves made also from their opponents. Hypernova is starting to take some structures down and get a kill. Muradin gets the gems, so yep, he gets most of them. And the blue team completes the turn in at the top. So with Cassia gone, it's a little bit annoying, but she'll be back for this. But we got the web weavers for the blue team. Nice break through the bot lane though. Yeah, 60 stacks, 61 now for Sylvanas. And Chen is actually doing a lot here. I mean, he is taking another tower down. Those web weavers should hurt them a lot, considering where we are right now. So with that, we now have the level 10 abilities in. Keck as imagined. Only top shelf placed from Chen, and we get mind control. On the other side, we have once more the demonic invasion from Asmodan. So no black pool plays, demonic invasion instead. And Asmodan at the top is actually getting chased here. Has already used the demonic invasion and is gonna die with 40 gems! Welcome to the problem. Even Anna not able to save him here. So that is 40 gems gone, and that is a majority of the gems that they were holding. And the blue team is still pushing with the web weavers. They've done some damage at the mid lane, and they're also putting out the damage topside. So this is glorious for the cats. I mean, this is fantastic for them right now. All the way up at the top. Yep, this fort is likely gonna fall now. I don't see a world in which they're not able to eliminate this. Yep, there it is. The one in the middle has taken tons of damage too. Now they're trying to go for Urel, who is sitting at 23 gems. Has used the ult already. If Muradin hits a Stormbolt here, this could be problematic. But Fountain is popped and they're fine. But still, big damage in the middle. Fort destroyed at the top. And lots of gems lost on the other side. So that one hurt a ton. Now, they have enough for a turn-in. Red team has not turned anything in yet, though. But they have 58 gems. So they're holding 58 gems for the time being. Yeah, Dracula is doing the damage down here. Damage output 20,000 for Vala, 21,000 for Sylvanas. Vala again has died one time, so lost a little bit of the gambit. And at least they're able to turn in from Oriel. They're gonna try and deliver with a few more. But it seems that there's a good chance that the blue team is gonna get the second turn in as well. They are just 7 gems shy of completing turn in number 2. Yeah. Not enough to get it. But would be a good start. But have to be careful here with Urel jumping in. There is a slight advantage in experience for the cats too, but it's a very, very small gap. Sylvanas is now dealing with the waves at the top. I mean, bam! Instantly, the entire minion wave burned down, and now plenty of gems to get the turn in. Nobody is interrupting at the top. And to make matters worse, by the way, not only do we get the second set of web weavers now for the cats, but also at the bot lane, the fort has taken some extra damage. Asmodan is trying to stop it, but the red team is already in danger of losing the fort in the middle as it gets easily destroyed by the cats and their push. Now, Chen, he gets away. Vala at 120 stacks. I mean, the stacking process for her is not too bad, but they are behind in experience, so they don't have a level 13 talent yet. And yeah, it's getting tricky here, because now you're really starting to bleed structures. The bot lane fort is soon going to be gone, and that's all of the forts eliminated. Asmodan with some extra damage. Muradin still able to get away, not even using Avatar. Totally unimpressed here, and they are starting to rally in the mid lane again. As down at the bottom of the map, this one was obviously already lost, as mentioned before, so that fort has no chance. Mind control! That's 27 gems that were just now lost. Some recovered by Oriel, but definitely not all of them. So more and more gems are going down the drain here on the side of Hypernova. As we have Chen trying to isolate a target. Can't quite make it happen, but they're still starting to damage the keep in the middle of the map after they now took the fort out. And they get the Valkyrie connect, and that's gonna be a kill. Yep, Asmodan completes his level 1, but Ana is now down, loses the gems that she has, and it's not only the mid lane that gets attacked. Up at the top, the Web Weaver is actually taking down the keep. Now we have Oriel eliminated. That's 2 heroes down. Chen somehow survives. The keep is gone. And we are only 10 minutes into the game. So 1 keep is destroyed. They're going for keep number 2. It's nearly level 16 talents for the cats, and the entire thing is just falling apart here for Hypernova. This is the second Web Weaver wave for the blue team, and they destroyed 2 keeps with it. This is a disaster for Hypernova. An absolutely disaster. 30,000 damage for Vala. 30,000 for Asmodan, and then over on the other side you see Sylvanas and Cassia both rocking essentially the same numbers. And now that they're going for the boss, if they claim this one too with level 16, there might actually be a chance for them to go and end the game. But the red team has figured it out, so there's no level 16 talent advantage yet, and they're forced into a fight. This could backfire now for the blue team. And whoa, Sylvanas gets away. The boss nearly taken. They're trying to go. Oh, okay. They're coming in with a keg. They want the boss, and who claims it? Boss is taken by the blue team. They might still lose the fight, but at least they've taken the boss here. Stay a while and get wrecked, and wrecked they get. 2 are down already. Oriel falls too. That is 3 kills. Make it 4, because that's the end of Asmodan. Well, Ana dies first, Asmodan after. 5-man team wipe. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is us going to game number 3 of the series. The cats with a bit of a speed run here on Tomb of the Spider Queen as they take down Hypernova, drop the red team, and force game number 3 in this series. Nicely done. The final map coming up next. Big W here for the blue team on map number 2. Hypernova has to fight once again. GG. Game number 3, the final map. We are going to Towers of Doom between the cats and Team Hypernova. Surprisingly, we had a bounty attempt from each team, and, well, both teams lost the bounty attempt. So, yeah. I have to admit, though, that when I saw that Asmodan pick, I was just like, what are they doing there? I don't mind seeing an Asmodan on the map, but that had no real chance of actually succeeding. Now, as I said before, going Murky and Planet Cracker Phoenix in game number 1 might also have been a little bit too much from the Cats. Now that we're going into game number 3, the final map of the series, I'm honestly not sure if either one of the team is going to be willing to go for a bounty. But we'll find out, I guess. So, the first thing that's getting banned is the Vikings. They're banning fun. Disappointed. Very, very disappointed here. Now, quick reminder on the bounties. So, this is exactly what we still have. I mean, if anything, maybe something like a Convection KT, I could see that you can still play around with Khaldor. He is going to be a bit weaker and easier to kill, obviously, which is a bit annoying. Hunt Illidan is something that oftentimes gets played, especially later on in the series, simply because you have a pseudo-global then, so you can still try and play a bit of a macro game there. Maybe that would be something that Hypernova, for example, considers. Cats have already attempted a few things here, but I'm not sure if there's any of the teams that would really, in a situation like this, double down on bounties and, you know, risk it all here. Because at the end of the day, just simply you advancing to the playoffs already means that you have so many more chances to go for bounties in the matches that you're going to play there. So I think most teams would not be willing to risk that by just YOLOing out a bounty just for the sake of it. So there is still, of course, the element that we have now 20 heroes that are banned, right? 20 heroes have been played, 20 heroes cannot be played again. So they are unavailable. So this is still a draft rule that we are continuing with here, which means that the teams will have to think more and more outside of the box as this continues. In a best of 3 series, it has a bit of an impact, but nothing too insane. Later on, when we move into best of 5s, that could actually play a big role. So top side, this is where we get Hogger for now, played by MyTry. And yeah, for Hypernova, game number 1 worked well for them. First tournament win for them, so yeah, good stuff. Map number 2, a little bit too aggressive. Brightwing and Hanzo are the choices here. It's actually interesting, neither Hanzo nor Genji have been played so far in the series. So this is the first time that we see one of the Shimadas as he gets locked in against the Cats. And there's the Cho'Gall pick again. I'm telling you, the Cats, they love to play Cho'Gall. Cho'Gall is just something where they are like, okay, we got this. Especially as you move deeper and deeper into the tournament itself and into a series like this, they are going to bust this out. The hero has been banned against them so many times. And even when it gets banned, it's just like a cool thing for them because it baits out a ban of the other team. So once again, the Cats with a Cho'Gall play. And they can, of course, ban some of the Cho'Gall counters now. And I suppose that they will at least ban one of them. I mean, well, okay, Stitches, fair enough. I mean, you get a Gorge 2 for 1, which is actually pretty impressive. I mean, that is big. I mean, Stitches always had a big mouth, but double going for Cho'Gall here. Zagara, are we gonna get Nidus? Huh. Is that going to be a Nidus attempt? Or are they just going to play Zagara and trying to get more to isolate Cho'Gall? Definitely have to monitor that. But okay, Cho'Gall taken. Sonya, Zagara on the right side. And we get Falstad now. So even some control over the top lane. Can fly in, make it a 5 versus 4 maybe in some of these battles. Or just lead with experience. Helps them a little bit to mitigate the fact that with Cho'Gall they only have 4 bodies on the map, so they have at least a global presence. And then, last but not least, Anduin! So, Anduin can help Cho'Gall a little bit more before he dies, just pull him out of the fight. But now that we're heading into our final pick, let's see what we're gonna get. It is the 3rd map, the final map, between Hypernova and the 3-legged Cats. We get Cho'Gall for the Cats. And then still the chance that it's actually a bounty attempt by Team Hypernova as they go for Zagara. Depends a bit on the level 10 choice, of course. But for the main tank, we get Diablo. And with that, we're heading into game number 3 of this series. The final map in the series. We have the Cats going up against Team Hypernova on the left side. For the blue team, Captain Rex on Anduin. We get MyTry on Hogger. We got Hirath on Cho and Drakir on Gal. The cats have indeed completed the Cho'Gal bounty, so this is just them playing something that they feel wins them the game here. No bounty attempt. Taichesa on Falstad, and over on the right side we got Hypernova with Grolk on Hanzo, Guano on Brightwing, Suksumuxu on Zagara. Katili is playing Sonya, and we got Panda J on the main tank position again. This time no Asmodan, actually going for Diablo in this case. Level 1, we see you from Gal, and yeah, I want to see some Cho'Gal action. It is, yeah. Cho'Gal can be mega annoying in those circumstances here. I mean, obviously one of the biggest ones that they keep playing is when we have, let's say, a Garden of Terror and they go for the death timer reduction. That has been a big one. This is a really, wow, this is a kill actually. I was about to say, it's a really nice engage against Falstad, but it ended up being first blood too. So Taichesa just laubert. That was a kill before the 1 minute mark. Nicely done, well played out, and congratulations to a spicy start into game number 3. The Freedom Exporters are obviously watching all of this. They're going up against the winner in a best of 5 series. And I would assume that they are expecting to go up against the Cats, but it would be quite the upset if we all of a sudden see the opposite and Hypernova make it to the next round. For now though, we have the kill on Sonya, so Falstad apparently got a little bit annoyed getting murdered this early in the game, so they are turning it around at the top lane and are eliminating Sonya. So it's a kill for a kill overall in the series now. At the bottom of the map, still, yeah, them trying to already take that wall out. And Zagara is suffering too. So the problem that you still have later on is, of course, that you have 4 bodies to channel altars and do all of those sweet things. And your opponent has 5 and might be able to out-rotate you a little bit. So they have to deal with that somehow. We'll see how well they're going to do there. But yeah, level 4 talents are now kicking in for us. And with that, we're getting the Seared Flesh, and we got the Rising Red. So, it's going to be a party. I mean, for sure. The first triple altar phase, I'm not quite sure if we're going to get there. But as the game continues, I expect some absolutely spicy fights. Talking about fights, Anduin down here gets crushed. Cho'Gal has to tap the fountain. So that is kill number 2 for Team Hypernova. And they are pressuring a lot. It's not only the blue team that is trying to take some towers out and get those bell towers relieved of a few hit points. Nope, we are seeing the same from Team Hypernova as they're getting very aggressive around this. And it's paying off for them. Well, they're doing a good job with it. It's the second kill. Objective is now up. And all the way topside. Quick play against Sonya again. My try is already getting pinged. Careful. Gotta move back here as Diablo is saying hello. Don't think that they can get a kill or anything here. Well, maybe a few more coming in, but even with Hanzo joining the fun, that's not going to be it. So down at the bottom of the map, seems like, yeah, Brightwing alone is not going to cup this. I'm actually a little bit surprised. That's 1 altar exchanged, and up at the top, I would be a little bit shocked if they just simply take this. They are going to get the altar, by the way, but Cho'Gal can do damage down at the bottom of the map, and interestingly enough, not interrupted for long. Nope. They just let that slide. So Cho'Gal takes the wall down at the bottom of the map. Team was absolutely okay, losing 2 out of the 3 altars. I expected them to buy themselves a little bit more time by trying interrupts. That wasn't the case. They wanted to deny the opponent additional kills. But yeah, now we have Cho'Gal just staying quickly low here. Getting a bit of extra damage out. The 7 talents are in, which gives us also the Enraged Regeneration. And we got the Augur Rampage. Outside of that, Battle Rage for Sonya. And, well, Diabolical Momentum for Diablo. But I want to see the level 10 abilities. I'm particularly curious what Zagara is going to take here. If this is really just a bounty attempt, or if they're saying, nope, Zagara with more, we're trying to maul Cho'Gal, and then make it a 5 versus 3. Brightwing, though, goes down first. And Hogger and Cho'Gal are both a bit low, but both of them should still be able to get away from this. So they get the kill. Sonya is sitting up at the top. There's still a couple of creep tumors too that need to be addressed, but this is another kill. They're going for Hanzo and they take him apart. Cho'Gal with another kill and the continued pressure at the bottom of the map. as we now have a single altar spawn in the middle. So, yep, once again, great start here for Cho'Gath. It was a little bit tricky a bit earlier, again, when they lost some additional heroes, but Cho'Gath so far hasn't been pressured enough. We have a half-level lead now, even a bit more than that. And the rotations that we're seeing from the Cats are pretty annoying for their opponents. I mean, this battle tower at the bottom of the map highlights that already very clear. Alta is already spawned and nobody has gone for it right away. I think Falstad, when he moved past it, I actually expected him to start channeling. But nope. Hogger is now slowly coming down. Problem for Hypernova is the level 10 ability that we're getting any second for the Cats. I do not think that they will be able to channel this before level 10 is ready. Then again, Cho'Gath is in a corner. Gets safe. Falstad says hello. Okay. The team just needs to take a few more of those minions out. Yeah, they need the interrupt and they get it. We still have Anduin. Oh, and he's dead. Yes, Anduin is gone. They're gonna get level 10 in a second, but the red team is now also catching up on this. Zagara in the back is in trouble, but so is Cho'Gath. Zagara survives, Cho'Gath dies, and well-placed arrow against Hogger. And that's another kill. 6 kills to 3. Only Falstad survives, and scratch that, this is a 5-man team wipe. Team Hypernova. 5 heroes killed. They take the lead in experience. They take the altar. And they are looking great. That chain of events was fantastic. Blue team was trying to delay the channel so that they could get level 10 abilities and then get the altar for themselves. The red team took advantage of it. And now we have 5 heroes eliminated. Lead in experience as a result for Hypernova, and they are taking some of the camps on the map here as they're attempting to establish more momentum and just build that little avalanche to take down the Cats. So let's see how that works for them. They apparently want to be aggressive here, and I really like the general spirit of them. They realize that they have a chance to make it to the next round. And for the Cats, I mean, they gotta be careful with this. Diablo, Apoc. Again, the move on Hogger, and he makes it out. Hogger somehow out. Cho'Gath also on the retreat, and they're able to get away. By the way, the question on Zagara has already been answered, so we don't get a bounty here. Zagara has gone for more. It would have been an interesting one to go for. Get Zagara, Nidus now. More makes a lot more sense. Sets up a lot of the abilities potentially that they have. And even if you can just section off a hero like Cho'Gath, that already helps you quite a bit. But again, we now have in the middle Falstad, just like sitting. It's the top left, top right. It's my most hated rotation, objective rotation on the map. It's just like full resident sleeper. It's like, let me guess. Each team picked one. The shock. The horror. Who would have thought? So, Bell Tower is claimed down at the bottom of the map. They're trying to go for a kill. I think they're going to get at least this one. Hanzo is dead. And they should be able to get Brightwing too. Falstad is down, but Brightwing is eliminated. Yeah, Cho'Gath is still running the show here. One team has level 13 talents already, the other one doesn't. So, with that, get some more kills in. Hello, Diablo. Fully pinned down and nearly dies here. They want to go for Zagara, and they're not able to get that kill. They're all low, and finally Cho'Gath is back. They go for Zagara, they take her down, and I think this is going to eliminate Diablo at a minimum. They should be able to get more though. Diablo survives, which is kind of hilarious, but they take Sonya down. So the kills, they keep coming. It's 7 kills to 8, but boy, they stretched that battle far. They took a lot out of the opponent's team. Now they're coming in to retake the bell tower at the bottom left, which was claimed just a moment ago. And they already have it very, very low, but Cho'Gath is also losing HP. He definitely needs to get a top off here. So we'll see how aggressively he's going to be willing to move in. But level 13 counts on both sides, which of course also means that we have Molten Block, we already saw it in action. And we have the Twilight Nova here too. The damage output, we have currently for Gal 29,000. 25,000 for Hanzo. Yep. Hirelk. Cho'Gath's damage and just like the siege up from distance is so annoying and insane. It is a bit crazy. This is a problem for Hogger though. Nice! The gust from Falstad. Oh, arrow not hitting anything. Yep. And shots fired on the corner. They try to go for Cho'Gall still. There's another altar up, of course. So, can they at least get one? It's 20 points on their core. This is where the kills come in. Brightwing is gone. The Maw, at least. Sonya could leap on it, and does. But Molten Block was already used. And now they go for Diablo, and Dibbles doesn't make it. Cho'Gall is alive. Sonya, she's low too, and gets killed. They're losing too many heroes here. Hanzo is trying to somehow take Cho'Gall out. Good luck the entire time. Anduin is still going for the heals. Hogger is just ping-ponging around trying to get them another mercenary camp. Claim those pumpkins. And they haven't even gone for the altar, for example. Hogger, by the way, is losing that camp. Yep. Camp is stolen by the red team. All the damage done by their opponent. And then this. So they go for the channel. And they only get 4 shots fired because they mistime it. They needed to stretch it out by another second and restart the channel. They didn't do that. So now they are losing out. That's 28 points on the red team's core. They should have lost another one. We have 10 kills to 8. And more importantly, we have level 16 talents. So this is all fairly chaotic and a bit crazy. But the Cho'Gall team is pushing ahead on all of this. They're getting farther and farther ahead. Another play in the corner. The double. The triple kill. That was a rough one. That one hurt a ton. They got absolutely demolished here. Check that one out. I mean, the gust into the corner and then Cho'Gall comes in, and that shockwave from Hogger was excellent. Absolutely excellent. So they get 3 kills with that. That pulls them even further ahead in experience. They now have a 2-level lead. And they go immediately for the boss. And Cho'Gall is, by the way, during all of this, still doing the damage down here. Might even get a kill if this continues. Tries to go for Sonya. He wants to escort those pumpkins in, of course. But both of the heroes that he's up against are super low. With Brightwing moving in, they're just moving back out. But the 4 shots through the boss are still fired. And that is now 24 to 20. And a triple altar phase coming up with the blue team controlling 5 bell towers versus 3. So, yeah, great spot for them. 5 kills behind and 2 levels behind, but at least level 16 talents in the moment. That could help a bit. Bell tower is at least reclaimed, so they got that. And with the 16 talents, we now also have the corrosive saliva over here, so this should help Zagara. I mean, Zagara right now, when you're looking at her damage output, she's at 28,000. So this should start to spike a little bit against Cho'Gall in particular. Oh, Diablo. There's the Apoc up. Leap on Falstad. Anduin with a save. Falstad with a gust. Trying to section him off again. As Cho'Gall is making his way into this. But yes, Zagara's Hydralisk is doing more work now. So she's at 33,000 damage pretty much immediately after the spike. Huge spike in damage for her. She's able to get those Hydras unleashed, and Cho'Gall just eats the damage. That's a massive boost. So, 16 to 20 points on the core right now. Blue team could draw even, and that's what they're aiming for. Interrupt, barely coming through against my try. But Diablo's a bit low. Brightwing just healing overtime the entire time. 1.5 level gap in experience between the two teams. And Falstad is still sitting up at the top. Down here. Okay, Diablo in trouble. And Dibbles is gone. Cho'Gall survives for now. Sonya wants the kill. Leap misses. Misses Cho'Gall. And now she gets gusted into tower range and dies before Cho'Gall can get killed. It got tricky for just a second, but Cho'Gall survives. Sonya and Diablo are both dead. Falstad and Hanzo essentially kill each other, and Zagara gets trapped and caught. Cho'Gall with mad momentum and damage. He's at 58,000, Hanzo at 53k. We're half a level away from level 20, and with 16 points on each core, this is leading more and more into the blue team side. They are just gaining momentum by the minute. They're going for these fights now. They have the level 20 talent. And with level 20, what we're getting first as they're pushing in for this is the death timer reduction with the Hour of Twilight. and the Twilight Frenzy. Also, we're getting Epic Mount again. So a little bit of a cat special, what they're currently doing here with Cho'Gall in particular. Also the Power Spike for Hogger. They got everything that they wanted here. Control of the bot lane, 5 Bell Towers, 2-3, 17 kills, 2-9. And on top of that, of course, the momentum, the pressure, them pushing. Cho'Gall just absolutely crushing it right now. Yeah, Molten Block again. Sonya has to be careful. Falster comes in too. Says hello real quickly as they're pushing for another bell tower. There's pumpkins at the bottom of the map, by the way, as well. So, yeah, these are going to push in, but Sonya is ready to deal with it. So, yeah, that's that. Sonya is currently doing her thing here, preventing the pumpkins from getting connected. Altar spawn at the bottom of the map should be a free one for the blue team, though. They should definitely get that one for free. And the bell tower in the middle has also been taken. So only one in the hands of Hypernova currently. That's one of the reasons why they're desperately trying to retake this one. But Falstad is going to get the channel, and that's 6 shots taken away, or fired away, and 6 points taken away from the core. So this one is going to hurt. 6 fired, and oof. They're trying to retake as much as they can. 16 to 10 points on the core. In the middle of the map, they're reclaiming this one. Falstad, yeah, flies and queues up the Gust. Was a bit of a stretch play, but again, they just tried. There's a lot of poke happening, especially from Zagara from a distance here, so they know that eventually they're going to lose that bell tower if they don't do anything like this. It was a gamble and it completely backfired. They saw that coming from a mile away, so they moved out before Falstad was even close. But if it works, then you get your kill, and all of a sudden it's a completely different ballgame. It's not a massive cooldown to burn, especially in the context of the red team not having level 20 talents. And the objective just taking a second ago. Zagara right now with the pack Instincts. And we get Ignore Pain plus the Hellgate. Boss is up. Next camp about to be taken too. And the boss is actually where this fight could center around now. So yeah, there's a chance that they're going to try and make some moves here. The damage output for Cho'Gall, 65,000. Gal has 65,000. Cho is at 43, so together they're sitting at above 100k. Hanzo with 60,000 damage right now. Him and Zagara being the top damage dealer for the red team. But the team is in trouble. It is recoverable. You have only a 6-point gap between the two teams when it comes to core points alone. But the last few fights have not gone well. Like, none of them. All of them were against Team Hypernova. So let's see what they can now do on this particular altar spawn, because that would be single digits for Hypernova if it's lost. Already some damage done, by the way, here. So yeah, that choke point is definitely not their friend. Hogger is pushing that bot lane out. That's a lot of pumpkins that are going for that. So there's a lot of pressure against that bot lane bell tower. Cho'Gall with the channel. It's always weird when Cho'Gall channels. There's basically 2 heroes just getting used for a channel here. So yeah, highly unlikely that plays out. That bot lane bell tower, by the way, is taking tons of damage from those pumpkins. Lots and lots. So right now, next push against Zagara. Careful, they go for her again. Zagara nearly dead. Tries to get away here. Hanzo is the first one to fall though. He dies, and Anduin is not looking too hot either. He might fall on the blue team side, especially now that Sonya is coming in, but they just can't get the damage. And that's a triple kill. Yeah, Diablo is back already. He had his soul stacks up, but this is still dicey. The altar is up, but they want the bell tower at the bottom of the map. Cho'Gall is taking that easily for free. So that's 5 shots now fired. Brightwing sitting in the bush, getting caught and killed. And they go immediately towards the top lane with Falstad now pushing this out. But Anduin is going to channel. I'm not quite sure if they're actually trying to get another bell tower, because if they did, if they get another bell tower at the top lane, then bell tower plus boss is going to end the game. And I think that's honestly what they are trying to do here. So they're going for Diablo at the top, and that's another kill. 5-man team wipe. This is going to be game. This has to be game. Cho'Gall is channeling. That's going to be 6 shots fired as they have the bell tower, and then they can go into the middle if they want to. or they can go just straight up for the boss. I mean, one of the two. Both are totally fine here, but with the entire red team being destroyed in that last battle, it was the inevitable conclusion. So, congratulations to the Cats. They move on to the best of 5, where they face off against the American team, against the Freedom Exporters. Team Hypernova drops out of the tournament. GG, and well